Hey guys, Casual Game Guy. So today marks the first of several, hopefully in the near future, pack videos. I just got this big box in today from MVP Sports and Games, and we are going to tear into it and I'm going to show you what we got. Now keep in mind that some of this is not mine. It is paid for by someone else, i.e. 4 boxes, 3 of which belong to team members. This is Generation Booster 2 Soaring Ascent of Gale and Blossom. And again, picked up from MVP Sports and Games. They have a store out in Pennsylvania, and I highly recommend you guys look into it because they sent us this nice little box with a playmat. And as always, you can ask to trade for stuff out of my own pulls. But my team and I come first, so stuff is probably going to get decked right away. So I will only be opening 1 box. The other 3 boxes are my teammates' boxes, and we're going to get into this. Alright, so right off the bat, having difficulty with the stupid plastic. Not entirely sure how to do this without damaging any of the content. There we go. I think next time I do a box video, I'll have like a box cutter or something on hand. So there goes the plastic, and this set, like all generation boosters, is the first generation booster is supposed to come complete with promo box toppers. So let's see what we got here. We got some obligatory promotional material, the Fateful Star Messiah, which is the new Link Joker trial deck, and the Dark Ren Suzuga Mori, which is the legend deck. Contains 54 cards and like 4 of each blaster card, and pretty much it's expensive as all get out. So if you guys actually have the $50 to drop on it, I would highly recommend doing so if you play Shadow Paladins. We got some more promotional material inside the booklet, Fighters Collection. Thank you, Existicat. And that comes out on June 19th. And the new Buddy Fight set and more Buddy Fight promotional material. And this is a little bit different. I actually have not seen these style promo packs, which feels like a 1-card promo pack in these sets. So last set we got a promo pack on top of that was clear, and on top of one was some like another promo card. I don't know. Let's just open this. So it looks like a Narukami unit. Nope, it's a Gear Chronicle unit. Divergence Dragon. Generation Break 1. Counterblast. When this unit's attack hits a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's grade 2 or less rear guards, and your opponent puts that unit on the bottom of his or her deck. That's actually not a bad skill, considering it's a Counterblast 1, Gen Break 1, and it's an 11K Vanguard. And then when you stride, it gives your Vanguard an auto 5K. So that's actually a pretty good promo. I haven't seen too many promos of this caliber or this quality, so it's pretty nice. So getting into our first pack. Now, the one thing that does annoy me about Bushiroad is the promotional material in every single pack. Here we've got the Fighters Collection, and we've got the buddy fight pack, and I don't know anybody who plays buddy fight. I know how to play, I just don't play it. So in our first pack, we've got Heat Wind Jewel Knight Cymbeline, and you can rest it when it's placed on rear guard. If the number of other rear guards you have with Jewel Knight in its card name is 3 or more, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose up to one of your other units with Jewel Knight in its name, and it gets plus 10,000 until end of turn. So that's, again, not a really bad card for a common. It seems that in this set, as well as the first generation set, that you do get some pretty good commons. So what you'll probably end up doing is dropping this on your rearguard circle and giving the 10k to either your Vanguard or to another support unit for your Vanguard. So it is what it is. We got the Rain Elemental tier. It's a Cray Elemental. Soul Blast 2, when it's placed on rearguard, you can pay the cost. If you do, choose a card from your damage zone for each face-up Cray Elemental card in your G zone, and then turn them face-up. This card is all clans from all nations, is its continuous skill. It's not a bad card. It does actually give the Cray Elementals a little bit of a boost in terms of ability, but there's still not anywhere near enough support for the Cray Elementals to be their own deck, which is what I'd like to see eventually, especially if they keep up with cards of this caliber. Next up, we've got Battle Siren Stacia. Generation Break 1. During your turn, this unit gets continuous rear guard. This unit can attack from the back row, and auto when this unit attacks. If the unit is in your back row, it gets +3 into the end of battle. So it basically sits in your back row on a Gen Break 1 skill, and it gets to attack your opponent's Vanguard or what have you for 9k from the back row, which it's an interesting mechanic. I might throw it into my Aqua Force deck and see how it works. But moving on, we've got Steam Maiden Jusil, and she's a Gear Chronicle draw trigger. There's not much left to say about that. And our rare in this set is Valkyrie of Reclamation Padmini. This is one of your Stride +2 unlockers. So you can just discard this instead of a grade 2 and a grade 1 or a grade 3 to pay for your Stride cost. It helps you conserve your hand and conserve your strategy a little bit, but it does also chew down a little bit at what resources you can use in your deck. So using this will be completely up to you, but it does have an auto skill. Choose a grade 3 from your hand, reveal it. When this unit is placed on rear guard from your hand, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to one grade 3 with Ranunculus in its name. I probably butchered the hell out of that, and I'm sorry. Reveal it to your opponent, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck, and choose a card from your hand and discard it. So this card is pretty much, evens itself out in terms of playability, but you're probably only going to use it for its Stride +2 skill. Stride plus grade 2 skill. Alright, so that was our first pack. Moving into our second pack. We've got a new Narukami unit, Thundershout Dragon, a vanilla grade 1, 5k shield, 8k power, enough said. Our next is Vegetable Avatar Dragon, which the artwork is pretty cool on it. It is just a big emerald dragon with a Gen Break 1 skill. Counterblast 1 at the beginning of your main phase, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to one card named Vegetable Avatar Dragon, call it to rear guard, and shuffle your deck. Then it's got a Soul Blast 1, Counterblast 1. When it's placed on Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your grade 2 or less rear guards, search your deck for up to one card with the same name as that unit and call it to rear guard, and shuffle your deck. So, if this is a rear guard, you get a pretty good, or if this is your Vanguard, you get a pretty good skill. You do get to get multiple units out on the field with this, especially if you're in Gen Break 1. So this is not a bad card. Again, another card that I may or may not playtest with, or I might just build a new deck around just to see how it functions. Next is a Mist Geyser Dragon Gear Chronicle unit. It's a grade 1, 6,000 power, and it's got a Genbreak 1 skill when you're in the rear guard. When your opponent's rear guard is put into his or her deck due to an effect from one of your cards, this card gets +5 until the end of turn. Now this card may or may not be worth including in your Gear Chronicle deck, simply because you want to get as much power in a single column as possible. So having an 11k rear guard in the back row to boost with might actually be quite helpful. Next up, we've got Protractor Orangutan. This is another weird looking unit from Great Nature, who they've got some really weird looking units, like a panda playing with a globe. But this guy's got a Genbreak 1 skill, Counterblast 1 during your end phase when this unit is put in the drop zone from rear guard. You may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to one card named Protractor Orangutan. Reveal it to your opponent, put it in your hand, and return this card to your deck and shuffle your deck. So instead of this thing getting put into the drop zone, it goes back into your deck, which is kind of broken for a common. So I know plenty of people who are actually looking for this. And this is one of the units I was actually hoping to get, was Lightning Dragon Knight Zoras. I'm probably going to get this one because of the amount of rares in this set. But if you saw my last video on the new Narukami deck, you'll know what he does. I don't have to go through the whole spiel of what he does. But as a single rare, I'm hoping that I can get at least one more, maybe two. But beyond that, I'm not going to ask for much or hold my breath. Again, between me and my other teammates, we have 4 boxes, so yeah. We've got a grade 3 Narukami, Jaggy Shot Dragon, Genbreak 1, Counterblast. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponents in the rear guard in the front row and retire it. So it's pretty restricted to what it does versus other Narukami units. Hello, my other Assist-A-Cat. Next up is Whirlwind Brave Shooter. She's an Aqua Force unit, an Aquaroid, grade 1, 7k. Soul Blast 1 on a Genbreak 1 skill. When this unit attacks, if it is the third battle or more of that turn, it gains +5k until the end of turn, or until the end of battle rather. And then it's got an auto, and then it gains auto when this unit attack hits a Vanguard. Choose a card from your damage zone and turn it face up. So it's not a bad card. Again, worth playtesting. See how it works. Our next card is Wyvern Strike Bargs. It's a vanilla grade 2 Narukami. So again, nothing much to say there. We also got the Jinna Paranoia Draw Trigger for Narukami, brand new draw trigger. And our rare is going to be the single rare Blue General, Blue Storm Marine General Milos. And once per turn, at the end of the battle, if this unit attacked a Vanguard, if your Vanguard is in Legion, stand this unit and it gets +5k until end of turn. So it's not a bad unit. It might be worth running. It does have the resist skill, which means it can't be chosen by the effects of your opponent's cards. So it kind of puts the kibosh on Gear Chronicles, and actually might be worth a try. So I'll stick it in my Aqua Force deck and see how well it does. Next up, we've got a grade 2 Gear Chronicle, Distance Running Gear Horse. It's got a Vanguard Rearguard skill. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, choose a card from your damage zone and turn it face up. So if you can get it to hit, it's not a bad card. Otherwise, I don't usually bother with cards like that. We got another Thunder Shout Dragon, and then an Assassinate Sailor. It's got a Rearguard skill. When this attack hits a Vanguard during the battle that this unit boosted, If it is the fourth battle or more of that turn, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. So again, it's not. This is not a bad card. It's actually pretty good. So yeah. Our next card is Magnolia Knight, and he is a draw trigger, 5k, power, not really much to say there. And wow, okay, we got the perfect guard that unflips for Gear Chronicle, Contradictory Instructor Shellmaster for Great Nature. And choose a card from your hand, discard it. When it's placed on Guardian, you may pay the cost. Choose one of your vanguards that is being attacked, and that unit cannot be hit until the end of the battle. Then if there's a card named Contradictory Instructor Shellmaster in your drop zone, choose a card from your damage zone, turn it face up. So, yeah, this is definitely going to get traded to one of my other teammates who is looking to play Great Nature. I, however, am not looking to play Great Nature, so all of my Great Nature polls are literally not for me. So, you can just hear the sigh of disappointment in my wife's voice as she sits in the background listening to me saying I'm giving up Great Nature cards. Alright, so now we've got Composed Scientist Nyenkuro, which is Cat Black, or Meow Black. It's just a vanilla grade 1. And there's my Great Nature pile. Alright, we've got a Gear Chronicle Steam Maiden Ul Nin, who I guess was Ululu Nin or something like that. I don't know. Choose a card from your hand, discard it. When it's placed on rear guard, if the number of rear guards your opponent has is 2 or less, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card. So she's just a standard drop draw card if you have more units than your opponent. So, not even worth mentioning. We got a Pencil Koala. He's got the Forerunner skill, Gen Break 1 skill as well. When an attack hits a Vanguard during the battle that this unit boosted, choose one of your other rear guards and you may have it get plus 4k until the end of turn. If you do, at the end of that turn, draw a card, retire that unit. Pretty self-explanatory. Then we've got Surge Breath Draco Kid, which is actually really cool artwork. I like the artwork on this guy. So I might be switching out whatever draw triggers I use in Aquaforce from now on with this. And our rare is an Immortality Professor Phoenixiax. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, so I probably butchered the crap out of that too. Next pack. We've got a High Tide Sniper, grade 2 Aquaforce unit, 9k, with a Gen Break 1 skill, Soul Blast. When this unit attacks, if it's the third battle or more of that turn, may pay the cost. If you do, this unit gets plus 10,000 until the end of that battle. Is that really what it says, is plus 10? That's kind of broken, again, for a common. Is it a misprint? What's going on with this? Like, seriously. We got another Rain Elemental Tier, which I don't remember where I put my... There they are. We've got a Demonic Dragon Berserker Chitora, which of course is going into my deck. But again, if you saw my last video on the Narukami deck, you would know what this guy does. I'm not going to go into him. We got a Cutter Falcon, Great Nature Critical Trigger. That's just a vanilla trigger. And a Nixie Number Dragon, which is actually a pretty cool unit. As soon as I remember what I did with the Great Nature stuff, there we go. No, that's Neo Nectar. Where the heck is the Great Nature? Oh, it's under the Aquaforce unit because I'm getting everything screwed up here. So Nixie Number Dragon, it legions with Steam Knight Zhang. And its auto skill is when your opponent's rear guard is put into his or her deck due to an effect from one of your cards. If this unit is in Legion, until the end of the turn, this unit gets auto. When this unit attacks a Vanguard until the end of that battle, your opponent cannot call grade 1 or greater cards from their hand to the Guardian Circle. And then when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have another unit in your middle column, this unit gets +3 until the end of that battle. So it's a really cool card, but you could potentially be screwing up your strides if you play it, unless you run out of strides, in which case this might be the game winner for you. Alright, moving into our next pack. We've got another Heat Wind Jewel Knight Cymbeline. We've got a Paint Otter. It's got a continuous skill on a rear guard. Your Vanguard's limit break 4 is active even when you have 3 or less damage. We've got another Neo Nectar unit, Barrage Warrior Watermelak. Alright. During your turn, if you have another Barrage Warrior Watermelak on your rear guard, this unit gets +2k. Alright. Narukami Stand Trigger in the form of Dragon Dancer Vivian, who I'm probably going to include in my build. But she's got a Gem Break 1 skill on a rear guard. Put this unit on the top of your deck. When your opponent's rear card is put into the drop zone, you may pay the cost. If you do, shuffle your deck, draw a card, choose a card from your damage zone, and turn it face up. Excuse me, I'm yawning a little bit. I am a little tired. Work was a little frustrating today. The whole day was frustrating. But anyway, Gen Break 1 skill, Night of Transience, Mare Dream. Gen Break 1, Soul Blast 1, Counter Blast 1. Put this card on top of your deck at the end of your turn. You may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 2 cards named Night of Transience, Mare Hope. Call them to separate rear guard and shuffle your deck. So this is actually a pretty cool card that you get to call more and more units out to rear guard with. I do enjoy seeing that. A lot more clans are more focused on thinning the deck to call specific cards out to help you with your drive checks better. So next up we have Malicious Saber, Gen Break 1. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, this unit gets +3 until the end of battle. So it's basically a 12k grade 2 on a Gen Break 1 skill. Next, we've got Wheelwind Dragon, Neo Nectar unit, Gen Break 1. When this unit attacks, hits a Vanguard, choose up to 2 units from your damage zone and turn them face up. Pretty standard unit there. Next, we've got Maiden of Kana, Gen Break 1 skills, Counterblast 1 and put this unit into your soul. Choose one of your other units. If you do, choose up to 4 of your units with the same card name as that unit, and they get +5k until end of turn. Now, the reason why this says the same card name is that it basically stops you from abusing your stride mechanic, because when you have a card in stride, it inherits the name and it's augmented by the grade 3 that's underneath it. So if you've got an elemental, like Cray Elemental something something, it becomes Cray Elemental, I don't know, a Thing Saver Dragon. It's pretty, I don't know how I can stress that enough. But yeah, pretty standard unit for Generation Break. It's got a pretty good skill. So far, I'm not disappointed with any of these new cards in the least bit. And a lot of these cards are actually still pretty new to me, because I don't really go through the huge set lists. I just kind of go through what the big rares are and everything else. But moving on, we've got a critical trigger in the form of Blue Storm Marine General Despina. And she's got a rearguard skill auto. When this unit boosts your Vanguard with Maelstrom in its name, Maelstrom support obviously, if it is the 4th battle or more of that turn, until the end of that battle, your opponent cannot call grade 0s from hand to Guardian Circle. At the end of the battle, return this unit to your deck and then shuffle it. So this is a really weird card. Good in Maelstrom, but not so good if you're playing anything else. Next up is Maiden of Frildrod. And she's got a Vanguard Rearguard Gen Break, so you know off the bat it's not going to be that great on a grade 3. Counterblast 1, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your rearguards not named Maiden of Frildrod. Search your deck for up to one card with the same name as that unit, call it to rearguard, and shuffle your deck. Now, I guess I have to eat my words there because that is a pretty okay skill, but the fact that is a Gen Break 1 skill, kinda, yeah. Don't know what to say about that. Just shrugging along. I'm sure there's other cards in this that I haven't seen yet. Alright, so next up we've got Steam Maiden Ishin. And she's grade 2. She has two skills. First is an auto Gen Break 1. And actually it's just one skill, and it just keeps going on. Wow, alright. No, she does have two skills, my bad. Her Gen Break 1 skill is Counterblast 1. When your opponent's rearguard is put into his or her deck due to an effect from one of your cards, you may pay the cost. If you do, until end of turn, this unit gets auto. When this rearguard, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, until the end of that battle, your opponent cannot call grade 0 cards from hand to Guardian Circle. And then it's got the Resist skill, which stops it from being chosen by the effects of your opponent's cards. So it's not a bad skill, and I think honestly they should have been including this skill in a lot more, the Resist skill at least, in a lot more cards. Next up we've got another Malicious Saber. Then we've got a Contradictory Instructor Tuskmaster. So I kind of feel like the contradictory cards in Great Nature are going to be a whole thing. So it's got a Vanguard Rearguard skill, once per turn, Gen Break 1, Counterblast 1, holy crap. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you can choose one of your other rearguards, stand it, it gets plus 4k until end of turn, and then at the end of the turn retire that unit. So this, I guess, kind of sits with the rest of Great Nature. Just give your units an obscene amount of power and that's it. We've got new Musketeer support in Gardenia Musketeer Alain, or Alain, I don't know how to pronounce that, so sue me. It's got an auto skill. When it's placed on rearguard due to an effect from one of your cards with Musketeer in its name, choose up to 2 cards from your damage zone and turn them face up. And then our rare for this pack is Marine General of the Wave Slicing Sword Max. It's got a Gen Break 1 on Vanguard Rearguard. Counterblast 1 at the end of the battle that this unit attacked a Vanguard. If it is a third battle or more of that turn, pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your rearguards. It gets plus 2k until end of turn. Choose up to 2 rearguards and exchange their position. So for a rare, that's actually not bad for what Aquaforce is famous for, and that is switching the positions of your rearguards. So, yeah. But I'm not sure on the wording of it. I don't know if you can just pick rearguard in one of your grade, like your left front row and the one in your back right row, and exchange them. So if someone knows the answer to that, get back to me on the comments below. Next up we have Saber Flower Sailor. Again, some particularly nice artwork. Grade 2 8k with a Gen Break 1 rearguard skill. You can retire this unit at the end of the battle it attacked, a Vanguard. If it's the 4th battle or more of that turn, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw 2 cards. So I'm a little torn on how this card works, but it's not a bad skill. It's not completely terrible, and I haven't seen any cards so far that are completely terrible in the new generation stuff. So moving along is Maiden of Lost Memory. Again, some really good artwork. Alright, so we've got Maiden of Lost Memory, Gen Break 1 skill, auto. When Counterblast 2, when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, for each of your units with the same card name as this unit, draw a card, choose a card from your damage zone, and turn it face up. Alright. Neonac. Alright. Then we've got Assault Eradicator Psyche. And he's a just a grade 1 7k. Soul Blast 1 during your main phase. When your opponent's rear guard in the front row is put in the drop zone. If you have a Vanguard with Eradicator in its name, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose a card from your damage zone and turn it face up. So it is more Eradicator support, although I wish we would have gotten some Eradicator Gen Break skills or some just Eradicator strides. You know, something to actually show that they were actually supporting the Eradicators a little bit more, as opposed to just, you know, not. Next we have Deity of Love, Kama. And, oh, yeah, we've got an SP in this box. That is frickin' awesome. Voltage Horn Dragon, one of the most powerful cards in this set. As an SP, I hold in my hands, and you probably can't make it out on camera, but this is seriously the best SP foil I have ever seen. It's got like 3 or 4 different layers of foil on it. It's just, think of the Legion Rares and then flatten it out just a little bit so that all that glitter and stuff doesn't stick off the card. But it is an amazing artwork card. And if you saw my last Narukama video, you know what this does already. So this is going into the pile, and hopefully I can get some regular triple rares and use those in my deck instead of having to use that beautiful card there. Next pack, and then we've got 4 more on the left side of the box, in which case I'm going to have to take a break, swap out memory cards, and continue on. So, we've got Wyvern Strike, Piglima, I don't know how to fucking say that. Gen Break 1, when this unit attacks, it gets plus 4k into the end of battle, and then it cannot attack a rear guard. So, yeah, there you have it. Next up, we've got Mohican Hyena. And it's a hyena with a freaking colorful mohawk. Yeah, great. When it boosts on a Gen Break 1 skill, if the boosted unit's power is 19,000 or greater, the boosted unit gets another 4k until end of battle. What kind of crap is that, honestly? Like, here, play Great Nature so you can get uber buffs on every frickin' thing you play. So this guy right here as a common has got me pissed off. Then we've got Sleepy Tapir, or Taper, however the hell you want to pronounce it. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, choose one of your other rear guards. You may have it get plus 4k until end of turn. If you do, at the end of the turn, retire that unit. So, pretty standard, and it's got the resist skill, so it can't be targeted by your opponent's effects. And this pack is just Great Nature for days. Then we've got Cafeteria Sea Otter, Vanilla Grade 0 Draw Trigger Bullcrap. And then, oh, a rare I was hoping to get. Battle Siren Oritha. She's got a once per turn Gen Break 1 skill. Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted a rear guard. You may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of the boosted units, stand it, and that unit gets plus 5k until the end of that turn. That is kind of a heavy cost to play. I think if they would have gotten rid of the once per turn, or gotten rid of either the Soul Blast or either the Counter Blast, it would have been a little bit more balanced. But it's still a nice card, and I'm still going to play test it, and I still like the artwork. Oh, great, the battery's dying. We've got Iron Fang Gearhound next in our next pack, grade 2 Gear Chronicle unit. With a Gen Break 1 skill, when your opponent's rear guard is put into his or her deck due to an effect from one of your cards, this unit gets plus 5k until the end of that turn. That's kind of standard. Then we've got Bud Maiden Ho. Alright, I'm just going to let that one go. Forerunner skill, so she moves back out of the soul when you ride. You're grade 1. And then it's got an active Gen Break 1 skill, Counterblast 1, put it into your soul, choose one of your other units. And if you do, choose up to 4 of your units with the same card name as that unit. Why couldn't they just simplify it and say, if you've got 4, you choose up to 4 units of the same name and give them all plus 5k. But yeah, this is pretty much a replacement starter for the Neo Nectar trial deck. So give her a try. Next we've got Tactics Sailor, grade 1 Aqua Force unit. And he's 7k, when an attack hits a vanguard during the battle, this unit boosted. If it's the 4th battle or more that turn, draw a card. Not bad for obvious hand advantage, so you might want to look into playing this lady. This very androgynous lady. Next we've got Vainglory Dream Gear Cat. Again, a trigger that I was kind of hoping to get my hands on. Probably only end up getting the one since I only got the one Wakey worker in my last box. It's got a once per turn skill, Gen Break 1. When your opponent's rear guard is put into his or her deck due to an effect from one of your cards, choose one of your other units. You may choose... Okay, when one of your opponent's units is put into his or her deck due to an effect from one of your cards, choose one of your other units. You may have it gain plus 10k until end of turn. If you do, return this unit to your deck, shuffle your deck. Again, cards like this have a tendency to piss me off because you're giving a free plus 10k boost with the ability to recheck this card, put it out, and keep playing it an almost asinine number of times. So I'm just going to keep going. Just going to keep going. Then we've got Diligent Assistant Mini Belly, grade 1 for the, and then the plus grade 2 for the purposes of Stride. But its auto skill is choose a grade 3 card from your hand and reveal it. When this unit is placed on rear guard from your hand, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 grade 3 card with Big Belly in its name, reveal it to your opponent, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck, choose a card from your hand, and discard it. That is just way too much text. Come on, Bushiroad, let's simplify. So I have to take a break now because it looks like my battery is going to die, and I will be back. Alright, so after a minor nuisance of an interruption, we are back to our pack opening. And at this point, we should have seen pretty much every common in the box at least once. We've got a Blue Storm Soldier Rascal Sweeper, grade 2, and he's got 2 auto skills, both in rear guard. When this unit attacks, if you have a Vanguard with Maelstrom in its name, it gains plus 2 until the end of battle. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked a Vanguard if you have a Vanguard with Maelstrom in its name. If it is the first battle or more of that turn, if it is the first battle of that turn, choose one of your other rear guards in the same column as this unit and exchange positions with it. Alright, so that's pretty standard for Aquaforce. We've got a Heat Blade Dragoon, plus 3k on a Gen Break 1 when it attacks a Vanguard. So it's a 12k attacker. Next we've got 2 Sword Eradicator Kyon Shock, and it's got a once per turn skill. When your opponent's rear guard is put into the drop zone, do an effect from one of your cards. If you have a Vanguard with Eradicator in its name, you may play all fighters choose one of their rear guards and retires it. This can only be played the first time it activates in a turn. So yeah, that's actually a pretty good skill, which I'm probably going to throw into my Vowing Sword deck. So we'll see how well it works out. Next we've got Ionization Eradicator Capnus, new critical trigger. When this unit is put into the drop zone from rearguard, do an effect from one of your cards. Look at 3 cards from the top of your deck. Search for up to foe up to 1. We got some Ebonics going on this card. It actually says foe, F-O. Up to 1 card with Eradicator in its card name. From among them, reveal it to your opponent. Put it into your hand. Return this card to your deck and shuffle your deck. God, quit it with the long text. Just confusing people. Then we've got Hidden Sage Mirren, or Myron, whatever the case. She is a grade 1. You can Soul Blast 1 when this unit is placed on rearguard from your deck. You may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card. So not a bad skill to have, but just be careful playing these cards because you could screw up your trigger checks. Alright, looks like we've got another Musketeer. Snowdrop Musketeer Pikako, and she is a Limit Break 4 unlocker. Your Vanguard's Limit Break is active if you have 3 or less damage. So, self-explanatory. We've got Dimension Expulsion Colossus, grade 3 common, 11k, with a once per turn Gen Break 1 skill. Choose one of your grade 0 rearguards, put it on the bottom of your deck. Shuffle your deck for up to 1 grade 3 card. Call it to rearguard, shuffle your deck, and that unit gets plus 5k until end of turn. Excuse me. And then an Auto skill, which is a Counter Blast and a Soul Blast of 1. When it's placed on Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's grade 1 or less rear guards, and your opponent puts that unit on the bottom of his or her deck. So, pretty standard. It's a little costly for what it does, but again, it is a common, so I guess they can't all be great. Then we've got Pure Wind Jewel Knight Kimbillinus, and oh man, alright, we're just gonna power through this. Soul Blast 1 card with Jewel Knight in its name. When this unit intercepts, if the number of other rear guards with Jewel Knight in its card name is 3 or more, you may pay the cost. If you do, it gains plus 10k shield until the end of battle. So it basically becomes a 15,000 shield for the purposes of guarding. Yeah, just, I don't see the point in special intercepts. I really don't. If you guys want to try and talk me into special intercepts, feel free. Comments are down below. Alright, so next we got a heal trigger in the form of Broadcast Rabbit, who's got speakers for ears. I honestly don't feel like the speakers scream broadcast. And then we got a Kelpie Rider, Nikki, who is a Stride Unlocker, but her auto skill is choose a grade 3 from your hand when it's placed on rearguard. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 grade 3 with Thavis in its name, reveal it to your opponent, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck, choose a card from your hand, discard it. Alright. Last pack, and then I have to take a break because this is just frustrating, and I will be back after another cut. So, we've got Full Power Scientist Nyan Shiro, which is White Cat or White Meow, depending on the context, which apparently in this context is White Cat, so just a vanilla grade 2. We've got another Battle Siren Stacia. Again, I do enjoy the artwork on this card, even if, and you guys may or may not agree with me, but even if the whole mermaid thing weirds me out. We've got another Gear Chronicle starter, Brasswing Gearhawk. Gen Break 1 skill, when your opponent's rear guard is put in his or her deck, do an effect from one of your cards. This unit gets plus 5k until end of turn. Alright. Plasma Dance Dragon, Narukami Critical Trigger, and then Marine General of the Heavenly Silk Lambros. Alright, this was another card I was hoping to get my hands on, and it is a triple rare, and this is probably something I am going to be playing. Lambros is actually one of the more powerful cards, and you can see all of his skills in not my last video, but the video following, where I point out my top 4 picks for Soaring, Ascent of Gale and Blossom. So already I've got 2 out of the 3 or 4 cards that I've been looking for from this set. Alright, now we've got Officer Cadet Cyril. God. He's a new starter for Aqua Force. You Gen Break 1 skill when this unit attacks. If it is third battle or more of that turn, you may pay the cost. If you do, it gains plus 10k until the end of battle. Again with the 10k. Do we really need to have this much power creep? Come on. Let's pull our heads out of our asses, Bushiroad. Then we've got Turbulence Deity Howl Rudra. When it's on Vanguard, you can counterblast 1. When it attacks a Vanguard, you pay the cost. If you do, your opponent chooses one of his or her rear guards for each of your Turbulent Deity Howl Rudra on rear guard and retires them. So this actually might be a pretty cool common to play. I might actually just get a second Narukami deck, or get another, so maybe a third Narukami deck going on, just to see how well it does. And I apologize for that little bit of a knock. That was my lovely cat brushing against me, and yeah. We got another Barrage Warrior Water Melloc. Now that I've got 3, I think, of these guys, I might actually run him, see how well he does. But yeah, he gains +2 for every other Barrage Warrior Water Melloc. We've got another Surge Breath Draco Kid. Pretty happy about this. And then our rare is another Hidden Sage Mirren. And for now, I am going to cut. I will come back after a short break, because my wrist is really getting tired from this. But just a recap, quick, of the rares in the first half of the box. Hidden Sage Mirren, Marine General of the Heavenly Silk Lambros, Kelpie Rider Nikki, Hidden Sage Mirren again. We've got a Diligent Assistant Mini Belly, Battle Siren Oritha, Voltage Horn Dragon, Marine General of the Wave Slicing Sword Max, Maiden of Frilled Rod, Knight of Transience Mare Drain, a Nixie Number Dragon, an Immortality Professor Phoenician, a Contradictory Instructor Shellmaster, Blue Storm Marine General Milos, and a Lightning Dragon Knight Zorus. And last but not least is Valkyrie of Reclamation Padmini. Is that really Padmini? Wow. Alright, let's rip off Star Wars while we're at it. Alright, so after a short break, Alright guys, we are back with the second half of this box. That is 15 packs to go, so we're just going to remove the rest of them from packaging, or from the box rather, and we're going to use the box as a trash bin from this point forward. Going into pack number 16. We have a Maiden of Lost Memory. We have a Wyvern Strike Pigglemaw. We've got a Sleepy Tapir, another Protractor Orangutan, and a Balloon Raccoon. Alright, so getting into our next pack. We've got High Tide Sniper, Another composed scientist, Nian Kuro. Nian Kuro. Assassinate Sailor. And a Blue Storm Marine General Despina. And a Harbinger Draco Kid. Alright. That's pretty cool. New Narukami starter. Right. We've got another Turbulence Deity Howl Rudra. Another Bud Maiden Ho. We've got another Gyeon Shak. Plasma Dance Dragon. And yes, a Draconic Kaiser Crimson. Sweet. Alright, starting this next pack with an Officer Cadet Cyril. Another Pure Wind Jewel Knight Cambillinus. Another Demonic Berserker Dragon Chitora. Cutter Falcon. And a Capable Assistant Guru Wolf, which is a Legion mate. For the Capable Professor, I think it is. Something Tiger. I'm not 100% certain on his name there. But we've got a Warrior of Grief Onion. This is a newer unit. At the beginning of your main phase, you can choose your deck for up to one Warrior of Grief Onion. Call it to rear guard, shuffle your deck. That is a Gen Break 1 skill, and it is a grade 1. We've got Strike Head Dragon, another new unit. Gen Break 1, one of your rear guard attacks a Vanguard. If it's the third battle or more of that turn, this unit gets plus 3k until end of battle. And then Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, when it's placed on Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, capitalized IF, if you do, choose up to one card from your hand, call it to rear guard. Until the end of turn, that unit gets auto when this unit attacks a Vanguard. If it is the first battle of that turn, stand this unit. Alright. We've got another Barrage Watermelon Watermelock. We've got a Gardenia Musketeer Alien. And I kind of ruined this already, but Dragon Dancer Anastasia. So this box has been really good so far. I don't think we're going to get many double rares from this point on, or better. So we're just going to keep trudging along here. We've got another Wheelwind Dragon. Another Strike Head Dragon. Another Mist Geyser Dragon. A Deity of Love Kama. And a Knight of Transience Mare Dream. Come on. It's the only problem with these packs is sometimes they are hard as balls to open. Alright, we don't want the promotional material, we just want the cards inside. So we've got another Warrior of Grief Onion. We've got another Vegetable Avatar Dragon. We've got another Wyvern Strike Bargs. Another Magnolia Knight. And the rare is a Knight of Transience Mare Hope. That is really cool artwork. So I'm hoping that the Knight of Transiences are a whole new mechanic, or archetype rather, within the game. Because they're pretty cool to look at. Alright, so we got another Mohican Hyena. Mohican, actually, a little bit of trivia for you guys to flex your brain smartness, is that Mohican actually means Mohawk, and that's where the Mohawk style comes from, because the Mohicans would actually have a Mohawk style hairdo. We got another Dimension Expulsion Colossus, another Maiden of Kana. We got another Steam Maiden Jusil, and a Blue Storm Marine General Michael. That's actually a pretty cool card for a double rare. So I stand corrected. But this has this pairs with Marine General Milos. And choose a card with the same card name as a unit on your Vanguard from your hand and discard it. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked the Vanguard. If this unit is in Legion and it is the 4th battle of that turn or more, you may pay the cost. If you do, exchange the positions of all your rear guards as you like, except choose up to 2 of your rear guards and stand them. Okay. And then when it attacks a Vanguard, if it's the 4th battle of that turn or more, it gets plus 5k until the end of battle. So it's a pretty cool unit. Alright, we've got another Saberflow Sailor. An Iron Fang Gearhound, again. Tactics Sailor. Oh, we got a... Nice, I think that's... Yeah, I think that is. We've got a Cafeteria Sea Otter. And yes, we've got an Omniscience Dragon Mana Germer. So again, this is another triple rare. So I'm starting to think that maybe perhaps there are more triple or double or better rares in this pack than in previous packs. I'll have to wait until Saturday to confirm that. But it looks like the ratios have been bumped up for this set quite a bit. We've got another Heatblade Dragoon. That'll come in handy. Another Whirlwind Brave Shooter. Another Assault Eradicator Psyche. And another Djinn of Paranoia. With a Blue Storm Marine General Milos. That's actually pretty cool artwork. I like that. It's too bad I don't play Blue Storm, otherwise that card would be amazing for me. For Legion, rather. Alright, looks like I've got another double or better. It's kind of hard to tell, but we're not going to skip ahead. We're just going to keep trudging along here. Distance running Gear Horse. Full Power Scientist Nien Shiro. Again, Shiro means white. Another Pencil Koala. Dragon Dancer Vivian. And nice, a Draconic Vanquisher. That is frickin' sweet. I was hoping that I would pull one or, buy one. But that is frickin' sweet. So, wow. Alright, we've got 3 packs left. So I'm assuming they're all rares from this point on. But just the level of pulls that I've got from this set so far are just psychotic in terms of how many double and triples there are, because it feels like there were a lot in this pack, or in this box rather. We've got Undying Eradicator Shub, another Rascal Sweeper, another Tuskmaster, another Broadcast Rabbit, and a Snow Element Blizza. I'm not even going to waste our time with that, because I really do not like the Cray Elementals. I really don't. Alright, this is definitely a double rare or better. So what the crap. Alright, another Pico. Another Jaggy Shot Dragoon. another Steam Maiden Ulin, and awesome, another Vainglory Dream Gear Cat. And yes, it is another double rare, and it is a Crayon Tiger. That is pretty freaking cool. Alright, we got a Paint Otter, Steam Maiden Ishen, which I was actually going to try out. Brasswing Gearhawk, Ionization Eradicator Capnus, Steam Knight Zang is our rare. So we got almost one of every Legion pair in this booster box. So that is it for today. Thank you guys for watching. So if you have any comments, please feel free to leave them below. And as always, like and subscribe, and I will be getting more videos to you guys ASAP. So until next time, this is Casual Game Guy. You guys have a great